because we're technologists on phones and cameras, so just want to put that out there for a disclaimer. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to first acknowledge that my name is Sasha Smith. I'm the current president of Blacks in Technology. I'm a very, very proud Canadian Jamaican. I think if anybody follows any of my social media, I literally post about Jamaicans and puppies. So it is really, really heart-wrenching. Dr. G, who is also not here today, is also another very proud Jamaican technologist, and a lot of our members in Blacks in Technology are African descent and Jamaican descent. I mean, we all are, but some of us born there, our parents and grandparents born there. So I just want to acknowledge all of those who have family and friends going through Hurricane Melissa. My family that is there, I have spoken to those in the city, but still have a lot of family members and friends missing. And so, as I'm sure a lot of you all do, there's 75% of power is gone in the country. And so, my family that is there, my cousins who are the same age as me, they're technologists. There are a lot of global organizations that use Jamaicans as have tech setups there, consulting firms, and so. And some of you all might know Liberty White, who's also a Jamaican technologist in our Atlanta community. So if you see her on any messages, she's been posting as well, and a few of us have. And so just want to acknowledge that I plan on doing something in the future, so you can follow me and Blacks in Technology, and we'll be doing something actually locally here in Atlanta around food and also globally. So just wanted to mention that, and thank you all. Please have us in your prayers. So, we will begin. I'm going to have folks introduce themselves and pass the mic, so I'll start with that. So, I'll introduce myself last. Okay, I've done enough so far.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Candice Prentiss, founder and CEO of Cap Global Works, and also Notary Ping, which is my startup app. Cap Global Works provides IT and construction project management. I'm an engineer by trade, but I have now gone into all the other worlds of technology. That's right. Role and Bit. My role and Bit is VP, working alongside Sasha and all of our board members to bring in new members, educate our youth and our college students who are coming up through tech, and helping our community.
What's your costume?
Oh, my costume, there seems to be a debate. A lot of people could not tell what I am, but I am a ringleader.
Right, I knew that.
You know that. Thank you. I got a few other different suggestions from people, but yes, I am a ringleader.
Hey guys, I am Jihan J. I am a cultural technologist. I have a couple of different roles. I know earlier in this program we mentioned about DreamHack. So I'm in the gaming and esports lens. I'm one of the few faces of Black women on both sides. I'm also a PhD student focusing on human-centered AI. And I am the event chair for Blacks in Technology, but I'm also a founder, a tech startup founder with my 17-year-old son. So nice to meet you guys. Oh, and I am Jihan the Good Witch.
Hello everyone. My name is Aaron Carson. I am the membership director for here at BIT. I also work for NCI Voters as a customer engineer. My costume is bodyguards for our lovely big members here. Mary.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Carmichael. I serve on the board of BIT Atlanta as the director of technology innovations and digital engagement. I also work for the city of Atlanta as a senior IT manager. My costume is bodyguards a bit, and I'm glad to be here and appreciate y'all's attention today.
Okay, thank you. So I'll introduce myself like I'm a panelist. Sasha Smith. I currently work at Sierra for the chairman of OpenAI, his AI startup. I was formerly working with Donnie in the mayor's office as the first tech strategist for the city of Atlanta. And I'm also a realtor with England Bokers, and I am an enchanted ghost today. They would get a kick out of that. So I'm gonna go right into it. So I'm gonna go with Aaron. So we are an event like Google DevFest, and why is it important for software developers in Atlanta's developer ecosystem and tech ecosystem to be looking at AI and to be discussing this and why events like DevFest are important?
Good question, Sasha. Well, events like Google DevFest is very essential. It brings together the community, it brings together innovation, it brings together creation, and developers not only see this as a tech conference, but as a space where they can come and learn, they can collaborate and connect with other like-minded individuals as themselves, and that's helped shaping the future of technology.
Okay, great. So Aaron's on membership coordinators, membership chair, so also at the end of this, please come and see him, making sure that you sign up. BIT particularly, it's really important for us to make sure that we are giving back to the Black tech community, and so we are hyper-focused on like workforce, making sure that we're doing education, making sure that we're helping our entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to put that out there. So that's why we're here today as well. Okay, I'm gonna do fun questions mixed with serious questions. So the fire round question for everyone is, what is one piece of tech or software that has changed your industry or your work life in the past year or couple of years?
Work life. I would say Claude. Claude is my favorite right now. Just because, and I know people love ChatGPT, but I prefer Claude for a lot of other things. Claude creates, it understands me a little bit better right now.
Close your eyes, Gemini.
It understands me a little bit better now, so I want the personal touch from Claude.
Well, I want to expand on that. So what is it that Claude does differently than Gemini or ChatGPT for you?
Well, for me, and I've used them all, I would say almost equally, because I've been trying for the past year, trying to make sure I gave them all the same attention and giving them this like prompts and getting to know me and my business. But Claude seems to understand me a little bit faster, and we get to the point faster, which is what I'm all about. I'm trying to save time. So chat might go through a few different iterations before it gets to the best version of what I need. So I also planned itineraries across the world, and it was just much better, cleaner. They dug a little deeper in terms of schedules and all of that, and it was like global. So yeah.
Fair.
For me, I'm going to say Claude and Gemini. I work in the creative technology space, so I'm looking at things that allow my creativity to flow. And I'm also a mom, so I'm looking at things as a mom that will help my productivity be super easy as a stay-at-home mom and help me level that balance of being a mother and also a cultural technologist.
Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it going and say Claude myself.
I did not know the answers, I swear.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm actually very surprised.
Yeah, Claude does well with formatting a lot of different data sets. So if you have a large data set, you want to kind of structure it the way you like, you can just plug it into Claude. It does a good job of changing it from
We are not paid or sponsored by Claude, but Claude, if you do want to sponsor the technology.
Yeah, and it does do a good job as well as transferring from Excel to another format as well.
Okay, Eric, you cannot say Claude. If it is Claude, fine, but you gotta say something else.
I'm gonna switch it up. I'll say the thing that kind of got me, I guess, stuck in tech isn't the software, it's the hardware side of it. So I think I moved here in about 2020, 2021, and that's when I got introduced to the tech industry. And I was spending time with people in the service delivery team, and I seen how some people build their own computers. So I used to play PlayStation, but I transitioned to using the desktop, so I try to build my own desktop. Or if I wanted to update some space or whatever it is going to be on my laptop, if they only had like 8 gig RAMs or whatever, I could just go to like Micro Center, get like a 16 gig, open up the laptop, put it in there, and kind of like build what I need to be as powerful as what I need to be for, which is like games, photography, videography, things like that.
Yeah, so hardware. I mean, I think I'll go along with you too. I think for me, I am loving these meta glasses, I have to say. They're very fun and useful, and I got them particularly because I'm of a certain age and I needed progressives. And so I was able to do that. I like that they are translucent, like they go into sunglasses so I don't have to switch. And then I like that I can use it for hearing. I have some hearing issues, and so I like that I don't have to put earpods in my ear, and then I can like video you all and take really nice pictures. I am definitely, I would say, the last couple of years, definitely, I would say that changed my work life is Microsoft Copilot when I was at the mayor's office was something that I would say definitely helped change my work life, because one of the things, and I don't see Don, you stepped out. One of the things that I really pushed for when I was at the mayor's office was it was not only important for us to be helping external communities. I helped launch esports and different classes and different things for the community, but also internally, our city workers and employees, it's important that we were upskilling them as well. And so the opportunity to get to help them and improve their work life. So I'd say that was a really big one when I was at the mayor's office. Now that I work for the chairman of OpenAI, his startup, definitely ChatGPT and our own agent SDK, where we're building AI agents for customer experience, are probably the biggest ones that I use to help, improve my daily personal and work life. But yeah, I'm definitely an OpenAI girl for many reasons. Okay, so Candice being in construction technology, in your industry, what would you say for those in prop tech, those, as we talk about building more data centers and different things, what have you seen as the biggest change in that industry?
A few things that I would say are definite big steps forward for saving time, money, and less waste. Digital twins, I know we've probably all heard of that, but, okay. Digital twins have been around for a while, but the advancement is happening rapidly now, and what it is you create a twin of your actual environment or your site, construction site or a building, and it's actual 3D modeling, and you can test, all of the things that you want to test before you have to implement it in the real world. So of course that's saving you time, mistakes, money, and you can plan better. It's a way to plan for your staffing, your resources, and I think it is 3D more a better version of 3D modeling than we've had maybe in the last 5 years. So it's just getting better and better. And it just really helps the process. Like you said, we use residential, commercial, airports use it. I've been in the aviation industry for 17 years, so that is a really big thing going around the world. And the US is catching up. We know that we're behind sometimes, and we are really trying to dive into some of the things that have been happening around the world for years now. Another thing I would say, you all may have seen Hartsfield-Jackson just did modular construction. So basically, kind of like modular homes, but it's on a bigger scale and much more complicated because you're building, for instance, an airport concourse. But you build it off-site, bring it in, and you basically plan it in, and you've saved months and months of construction time on-site and money and all of the things. So that's really huge, and congrats to Hartsfield for doing that. It's awesome. I walked through there recently.
Candice, I don't think I know, and I think it'd be interesting for the people to know, looking at this wonderful ring leader, how does a beautiful woman of color such as yourself, how does one get into construction tech, prop tech? Like, how did you get into it? Share your story. And I think, I know off script, but one or two things if anybody's interested in prop tech. So our former president, Melanie Boatswain, also is prop tech and was building out Microsoft's data center, and now is like the first Black woman building out the largest data center for Amazon, which is how I became president. But how did you all, or you specifically, how did you get into that?
You know, I did not work together.
Yeah, if you know any of her stories, share that.
Honestly, it was really about networking. Honestly, it started from college. I did not think I would land in construction at all. I grew up, my dad actually was a general contractor, but I didn't think I'd ever be doing that. I went for engineering, then I got into manufacturing. I'm industrial systems, so I'm like, okay, I can make buildings more efficient, make cities more efficient. That was what I wanted to do. And then a college friend, AUC, shout out to the AUC, she went to Clark Atlanta while I was at Spelman. She was like, oh, they need engineers at the airport. Like, what do you think? I'm like, okay, I'll try it. I was in Wisconsin, didn't want to be in the cold anymore. I'm like, okay, let's see. I got there in like less than a month, and it's been like full speed ahead. And then along the way, I brought other friends in. Like, it has to be, like, I have no, like, I guess, ego. You want to bring more people in, you collaborate, they make you better. That is really, especially women. I know in my engineering classes, there were like 4 of us. So, and I just really believe in that part. Pulling people in, making each other better. And that's really how I've gotten into this and how people have pulled me into.
Okay, great. And I think as we're here talking about building from code to community, that is one of our goals. That is something that I take very seriously, my networking and making sure that I'm connecting you all to different folks or people in different industries. And I think being a part of BIT, that's something that we really focus on, and that's how you build community. So it makes total sense. Okay, I'm supposed to do another fire round, but I'm gonna skip right now and go to my next question, panelist Eric, and then I'll come back to the fire round, because it's about tools, and we kind of did that a little bit. So Eric, being in civic tech, gov tech, which is where I used to be, the City of Atlanta CIO office, what are some of the top civic tech initiatives, smart city, digital equity, data governance, that the city is prioritizing, and how can technologists of color plug into these projects? And Jihan and I can probably, and Candice could probably bounce off you a little bit after. We'll let you go since you're the one who's actively there right now.
Yeah, I think some initiatives that is going on right now are, one is the Smart Corridor, which is over at North Avenue.
What is the Smart Corridor?
So it uses IoT sensors and I believe adaptive traffic controls to kind of make the safety and mobility a little bit better in that area. And then also for the Beltline, there's a pilot project going on right now that's bringing free Wi-Fi kiosks and smart infrastructure for underserved neighborhoods and neighborhoods that's underprivileged a little bit right now. So those are some cool things. There's also a lot of things on the agenda for the city data governance initiatives going on. But I think one or a couple ways to kind of plug into that. One is coming to events like these and maybe lending a voice to the community and speaking about these initiatives that are needed for the community. I think also being able to join or volunteer for workshops and hackathons that go on. And also, I would say, joining BIT Atlanta as well, to be like the main source.
At the end of the panel, before he disappears like a ghost.
That would be like a good source, because for BIT Atlanta, it's a free membership that you get plugged into all of our community partners that are here today. We have sponsors like Google, Microsoft, Visa, Salesforce, SoftChoice, and we get y'all connected to the talent pool. Network events, you get privileged access to certain events that's going on in Atlanta or outside of Atlanta. So I think that's a pretty cool way to tap in from my perspective.
So, off script again. So we all know election is coming up Tuesday, and so, speaking of that, I think it's really important. I know a lot of people, I don't want to speak to this audience, but just as a reminder, today is the last day of early election, and particularly one of the things, depending on where you live, that's up on the ballot is talking about the energy companies and the data centers being built, and that's never really been something that a lot of folks have probably even looked at. So please review your ballot depending on where you live and check that out. There's been a lot of back and forth talking about the data center. So when we love the technology, we want all the chips. I would say for hardware too, that was my favorite. I love all the speed of all the chips making everything so much faster. But at the same time, we do want to acknowledge that, sometimes those who are building these things and making plans might not be thinking about those in the neighborhoods that we live in and how that affects us. And so those who might be complaining or thinking about why your power bill has gone up so significantly, these are some of the things. And I think it's important that we hold the right people accountable for some of these costs. We know it's like a weird juxtaposition, like I want all the technology and speed and all the new things, but at the same time, there's like this other arm and other cost, right? So we can't deny that, and I think the best way is just to like acknowledge it and come forward with it. So, just wanted to say that, make sure that you check that out. And what would you say, and anybody can answer this too, off script again, in terms of one of the things that we, we're all excited about is FIFA coming. And the government, how are they preparing? And if you could do any magical, this would be the fire round, If you could do one thing to improve, that use technology to improve our city to prepare for FIFA, or just for anything, what would that be? For Eric, is it more smart city corridors? What would that look like? I'll say something and then give you all time to answer since I'm randomly giving, are you ready to go? Something ready to go? Okay.
I'll say because I did some work with, I'm still in creative technology, so I bounce around. So one of the things on the gaming side that we're doing here in the state of Georgia is making sure that the city, but then also the state is looking at it from an economic development, but also using gameplay to teach local area students the importance of FIFA, because you have to remember that a lot of kids that are in these inner cities are not necessarily educated on what FIFA is, but they may play the video game. So we want to make sure that we're educating them in the right way, but also prompting and preparing them to use these technological advancements and tools to help them build career pathways, but also access to industries that they don't have. So I would say understanding the different soccer in the streets is what it's called. Look into that program. They're using that to bridge technology, inner city, and athletics, particularly soccer, together, but then also look at the different ecosystems that are using digital technologies to help students understand the creative process of what's being built here. Understanding AI and how it's helping it build community, and also understanding the human-centered focus that we're looking at to help build these technological advancements.
Yeah, that's great. I think one of the things I would love to see, and I don't see Donnie, I don't work there anymore, so I can say what I want. I would love to see the city, Eric, you work there, opening up like portals so that all of you all that have businesses or might want to do work or events can easily access and be connected to FIFA, and making sure that those who are in the city get that access. So I was not here for the Olympics, some of you might have been, but I heard lots of stories, and it really is going to change our city. It's going to put it on the global stage. I think it'll be like another Olympics. And so what I don't want to see is our people in our community get left behind or not get access to benefit from such a huge event. We have 9 games, which is a lot. If you think about it, even New York is not getting that many games. They're just getting 1, even though it's the finals. But we're gonna really see millions and billions of people descending and viewing our city. And so I would want to make sure those of you who are looking for jobs, they get access to helping people what they need, and any vendors or business folks. And so I'd love to see like a tech portal built so that it would be really easy to see what's needed from the city government and from FIFA, and then if I have a water business and it says that the city's gonna need 10 million crates of water, I can put in my bid really easily, really fast, and become a vendor and sustain myself. So that's what I would love to see if I was working on the city. So what would you want to see working on the city?
If you could have one technology or do something with technology for the city.
Yeah, for FIFA in particular, if that's what we're going to go with.
Whatever you want.
Oh, well, we know big events brings displacement to a lot of folks, especially like Super Bowls and Olympics. They clean up the city. We find different ways to make the city look great and welcoming to visitors, but people are displaced. And I believe our mayor and his administration is doing a great job of, working on affordable housing and getting people, the unhoused, help and housing as fast as possible. That's one of his initiatives. And while it's moving forward, I want to see for FIFA what could we do something that is lasting? What could we do that is lasting past the event and not just, you know, for that time period, but thinking of innovative ways to keep people in Atlanta and not just, you know, move. A lot of times I know in New Orleans, where I also work and live part-time, Super Bowl came, they moved people all the way out as far as Mississippi to go, you know, to be away from the Super Bowl. And, you know, we gotta find a better way. There has to be
How can technology
other things that, well, first, technology can help by first being able to account for what we have, what is the problem. I don't think that's always been assessed in the forefront. What is the problem? Where are the areas that need the attention ahead of time and not just scrambling for the event? And then there's this mass push out. Lots of planning and technology can help with that planning and those ideas to keep people in the city, but also protected and safe during that time. So that's what I would love to see. I know we can do it. We just have to all put our minds together. And money. It takes money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, cool. With being in the cyberspace, I think up with Atlanta, where crime has went down, but I believe that most people that live outside of Atlanta think that Atlanta's bad on crime. So with all these people gathering in Atlanta for the FIFA, I think we need to have more physical prints of police security, more deterrent factors around that's gonna, I guess, deter people from committing a crime or make them fear that the police is close nearby, or maybe just security, having more cameras up in the city, being able to, you know, just keep Atlanta safer just through technology and cybersecurity.
Yeah, from my perspective, there's a lot to consider when you speak about big events like FIFA and how to prepare for it. From my perspective, I would say that something that we're looking into is really our failover and recovery systems. And that includes not just technology, but technology, the airport, AFD, the police, fire, just making sure that all of the systems that are in place right now, if they were all to go down with the high increase of people coming, could we actually maintain that? And could we possibly maintain any type of cyber attacks and any attacks to these systems and even the backup systems right now? So we're just kind of stress testing at the moment. But that's just from my perspective. I think everyone mentioned some great things that should happen. But on the technology side, it's more so just right now just stress testing our systems and seeing how we can prepare and be ready for FIFA, and not just FIFA, for other things that are coming down the line.
Yeah. Okay, that's important. So we talked, so everybody talked a little bit about, I think it's very clear that you can see like we're very involved and invested in everything that we do. We involve communities. So one of our board members used to be the head of Black Voice and Code, and so, you know, we're always doing stuff. We're getting ready to do some partnerships, and one of the things that I think is important for you all to know is that we are very a part of collaboration over competition, and so we partner with technologists of color. Some of you might know John Zoom or not, and then also BBPA. So that's just something I want to put out there, and we're always looking to partner. So if you have an idea or an organization or something that you think you would like to launch that makes sense with building community and technology, please, please, please make sure to see us after this panel. And so we're talking a lot about, you know, what to do with technology, go to Jihan, about, you know, the humanization of all of this. And so Jihan studies, did you tell them that you were a PhD in human-centered? You don't have to say that. Mm-hmm. So she studies human-centered AI. So one, can you explain what that means to folks and how the human-centered AI approach ensures AI advances kind of serve our community? So make sure they know your background and where that comes from.
Yeah, just a short little plug. So I have a broadcast journalism background, but then I was assistant principal for years and in educational technology, and for the past 6 years I have literally been sitting on the esports and gaming side and doing research and using esports and gaming as a mitigation for domestic terroristic behavior thought patterns. I did that research with Homeland Security for the past 2 years. But one of the things that I really wanted to do was, just as a mom, I was looking at the integration of technology, but also where we sit at in creative technology and understanding the importance of content creating and streaming, every other thing that we're now developing in this ecosystem. And one of the things was that I wanted to study was how does the human body and human mind connect with these emerging technology tools that are coming out. So right now, I'm looking at how Black Joy brings that human-centered AI experience. And one of the things, and we talked about this last weekend, was it's just a basic necessity of having empathy when building. So when developers are building and coding, understanding the community that you're building for, and it's not always looking like everybody that is in the room. There are a lot of displacements within technology, especially right now when we're developing these LLMs, that they do not look like some of the representation of which people are trying to use. For one instance, we are sitting right here in the middle of Bankhead. I bet you if you all canvassed it and understood the displacement of understanding AI in this community, but we're sitting in this community having this conversation. So it starts with understanding who we're serving, the communities that we're serving, and understanding that there are also communities that do not have these conversations. I spoke with so many different ages. Last weekend I spoke with women that lived in the projects down the street and wanted simple, basic educational lessons on how do we use AI? How are we making it better for our communities? And so when I'm talking about human-centered AI, it's about using this tool as a creative tool, but also assistant to help educate and bring awareness to these communities. A lot of kids that sit in Title I schools do not have access to AI. It is often shut down behind the back system or the back end, but we have so many people developing. And then when we look at statistical data, there is not a high percentage of people of color that are developing these tools. So how can we change it? How can we create these communities to make people understand the importance and value of where we are sitting at in modern day technology and making sure that we are bringing all people to the table? So I will always say, when you're developing, when you're coding, making sure those coding languages match those communities of which we are serving. We are in Atlanta. Make sure you are building for Atlanta culture. Look at the room. It is very diverse. I come from a diverse family. So when I'm having these conversations, I want to make sure I'm talking to everybody. We are all one, and we have to understand that these languages need to be built like that. But also when we are building, we have to also extend that educational value and provide these workshops and conversations like this so that we can make it more human-centered, have more empathy when building, and that way we're building for the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think those of us in the room often probably end up being the only ones that look like us in these spaces, but you know, not to put pressure on anyone, I have been blessed with my very forward Jamaican culture of even when I'm the only person that looks like me as a woman or as a woman of color in these spaces, which is the environment that I currently am in right now, I do make sure as we're building, you know, to be thinking about these things. And so I definitely implore you all, especially, you know, developers, to definitely be thinking about this when you're in your spaces or encouraging others. So thanks, Jihan, for that. Fun round, and then does any audience have questions? Questions in the audience? Because I can also go to you all, get some questions from you. Okay. So if you weren't in tech, if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing and why?
I would be, okay, this is fire, so I'm gonna go fast, but I would be traveling the world, kind of like Anthony Bourdain, kind of like that type of thing. Yes, R.I.P. But I would be doing that, but with a little mix of flower arrangements. I'm obsessed with flowers and making them, so I don't know how to merge the two. And then the third thing I would throw in there is charcuterie creativity, because I do that too. So all of that together would be my life and business.
Okay, great.
I would still be doing what I do because I grew up in entertainment. So I would just want to be traveling the world doing digital entertainment conferences. Shout out to the conference I just did yesterday. I had 350 young girls from the city of Atlanta coming together as a free field trip, learning about industries of emerging technology, digital media, gaming, esports, and content creation. So I'm really living the life that I want to live, but I would put it on the road and do it globally.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm excited to hear this. I know these people very well. I don't know what they would be doing. I only know us as like hardcore technologists. So like, this question might be for me, sorry.
Yeah, so if I wasn't in tech, I would like to be I love sports, so I will be an executive of either a sports team or a sports organization. I can see myself lending my expertise to knowledge to helping the team develop the players, develop their whole organization as a whole. So yeah, it would be somewhere in executive, sports executive.
It's so interesting because Aaron and I watch sports together so much, and like tech is so involved, particularly the NFL, and we know folks, who are there. Technology is so entrenched in what they are doing in all sports now. So yeah, I mean, instant replay alone, right? Like just that, but so much more than that. Aaron, I don't know what you would be doing. What would you be doing? I'm curious.
If I wasn't in tech, or if I didn't have, I guess, a 9 to 5 and I had more time, I probably would travel with my camera, go to different, just travel globally, kind of create my own personal museum in a way, take photos, get them framed, put them up, around the crib.
So an artist.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that right now, actually, but I have more time.
Yeah. Well, I knew you could do photography, but I didn't know you.
Yeah, just take some good photos that's that you probably will pay for somewhere, but I can just take it myself and just get it framed and just add it up.
Do you guys want to guess what I would be? I would be. I wasn't gonna say it goes. I would love to be like an ethnographer and a writer and a photographer. That's something that I just am fascinating about, like learning about different cultures and people, and then like writing about it. I think that's what I love to do. And then producing films and movies is what I would be doing. So which I kind of will be doing. So stay tuned for some of that. Okay, Aaron, I'm gonna go back to you. So from your perspective at NCR, working there, you might want to spell it out for people what it is. Not everybody might know what NCR is. And the cybersecurity landscape evolving, what do you think is, the most important thing happening in your industry, particularly? And then if you want to share anything else about life in cyber, in the digital money business.
Yeah, I'll dive.
What is NCR?
I'll dive deep into a little bit more. As far as when you're saying, as far as cybersecurity, organizations, enterprises, and individuals as well, we all know that the landscape of cybersecurity is changing daily. Especially with AI and these automated tools, and the way that threat vectors or threat actors are using those tools to enumerate and get information about different organizations. Organizations have to take a different stance as well as far as identifying those threat actors. So what organizations are doing now are being more of proactive instead of reactive. So a lot of organizations are, of course, getting insurance, cyber insurance. They're also having different AI tools to notify them of intruders or anyone in their systems. A lot of monitoring, so more monitoring instead of the reactive as far as cybersecurity. That's more on the enterprise level, but as far as the individuals, we're all seeing how that's changed over time. I went from the Nigerian email, the Prince email, to the scam calls, to now we're getting text messages from UPS or saying that your package has delivered or things of that nature. So you'll see it's constantly evolving as far as cybersecurity. So it's not just a tech thing, it's more like a lifestyle thing nowadays. So everyone has to be proactive, have to be on knowledge about cybersecurity and the type of threats that are out there nowadays.
What are the top 3? So what would you say the top? If you're telling this audience the top 3 things they need to be doing or thinking about protecting themselves or really their work or their businesses when it comes to cyber? Other than changing your password.
With a lot of remote workers, a lot of people take their devices home so they can connect to their home network. They may have the same network that their kids may connect to and play video games on. So we just got to be careful about those cross-pollination of the internet and networks. They can get into your own network. They possibly able to get into your work database or your work computer.
So they should be
Have that door.
VPNing it up.
Yeah, of course, that. Another one, she mentioned passwords, multi-factor authentication, make sure that you guys go through a two-step process of logging on to different applications. Next one, I would say just general, just be aware of your surroundings. Whether you're in physical security or cybersecurity, just always make sure that you check your surroundings and lock your doors, things of that nature. Cybersecurity is, physical security are very important. Like there's multi levels. We call it defense, cyber defense. We have not just your outer layer, but your inner layer protections as well. So.
Are there any new, and I don't know this, like AI, and how is like AI playing a role in cyber? Like, is there anything, I don't know if you're allowed to share, but anything that like connects or that you all are doing in the cyber world specifically with AI?
Well, yeah, with AI, just more of the automated things, whether it be on the defense or offensive side, just using automated writing scripts, just to find backdoors and loopholes within organizations and companies of that nature.
Because I know when we were at the cyber conference, right, because the cyber criminals, they're using AI, so we also have to be using
We
AI.
definitely have to use it as well, because they're definitely using it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Eric, any thoughts on that or anyone else? From the cyber world?
No, I don't know anything else.
Okay, I was trying to find an article for you all that I read in the New York Times. I don't know if anybody saw the article over the weekend about, but I didn't tell you all this. So there's a man who tried to go a whole day without AI, and like he just literally like breaks it down how it's connected in every facet of our lives in every single way. So I wanted to mention that to the name for you all, but I can't find it. But if you look it up, it was in the New York Times this weekend, and it was really interesting. Even down to, he said he was in New York, he wanted to look at the trees, and he was like, well, the city of New York is using, you know, for the forestry department's using AI to count the trees and tell when trees are dead. So like he wakes up in the morning, I'm gonna tell this quick story. He wakes up in the morning, gets out of the shower, and his wife turns the lights on, and he turns off the lights, and he's like, we can't use the lights. And she's like, what is going on? How is this connected to AI? And he's just basically talking about the city of New York. And I think, you know, Atlanta, different cities, right, they're using AI in the power grids. So he can't use the power grid. So then he's like, okay, he's like, he needs to get an Uber to go to this meeting. He's like, oh, I can't use Uber because they're using AI and their data and their stuff. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take a city bike. Oh, the city bikes in New York, I think we have them here too. We don't call them city bikes, right? AI is used for that detection, so he ends up taking his son's bike and he's riding down the road, and he talks about, just like Eric was talking about, they have smart corridors too. He's like, I can't drive down the road, that's AI. But he's like, I still gotta go to the meeting. So that's how we got to looking at the trees. And he was, I mean, it literally was things that we think about, but literally AI is in your life like every single moment, every single day. He really broke it down really well. So I suggest that article if you all are interested. So I think we're close to time. Oh, okay, we have some more time. I really would love to hear from the audience. Just any, oh good, there are questions. Why did y'all have me stop me earlier? Thank you. And then this lovely woman in the front as well, who's fabulously dressed, and people in the back. So why don't y'all just come up in a line up here, just come up. Oh, he's gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk it around.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
a little crowd engagement.
So bossy. The enchanted ghost in me.
I know it is. Ooh.
I am Shannon, and I was actually wondering, or you were talking about the city and how we are developing the infrastructure behind the safety and getting in the corridor and everything, but with the evolution of AI and how we are finding that people who are darker than light are not actually seen by AI as humanistic, we're actually seen as a threat. How do you bring in that essence of AI? Because it's very much alive, we love AI, we love the evolution, but there are still flaws. How do we go forward in the community with such a flaw given what what Atlanta is today?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit to what Jihan's point was about just incorporating the environment that we're in a little bit better. And that goes in with the testing in QA. I think there should be a little bit more integration and implementation in that process to incorporate who we're building for. And for the city of Atlanta, as diverse as it is, I think that needs to be something that's kind of more generalized and just specialized into what we think or who we think is just going to use this specific area or tool. So I think it just goes back mainly to our QC and our QA with how we implemented these new processes and these new tools into the environmental ecosystem.
Yeah, to
Tell
add
about
to
your
that,
role, how you used to work.
just to add to that, another big part of it is getting more diverse people to the table to create those things. So events like this, talking to people you wouldn't normally talk to and collaborating, like, yeah, I go so many places and you just spark up a conversation and you realize there's something we could do together for the greater good. So lots of collaboration and talking, getting to the table to actually get your ideas heard and implemented in different development. But what would you say about my role last?
How you used to work for us today.
Yeah. But yeah, I think getting a larger group of diverse people to in the inception of things as opposed to reacting to it. That's
Yeah, I'll say one thing about that too. When I was at the city, we were particularly like these. I literally was having this conversation in the bathroom because even just like putting your hands down to like the sensors to wash, and I was trying to explain this to the folks at work, and they were like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Watch, my hand does." So even just bringing up those conversations about when I was city, it was very important looking at the vendors that we were selecting. Even we were looking at some new like LiDAR, that's what the technology for the cameras even picking up and the movement, and the belt line has some of that too. So making sure that we brought, I made sure I said something and bringing that up when we were talking to the vendors. So whoever we selected, we know that making sure that their technology was better or making them aware of that. And so that's something, that I brought into play there. But yeah, it's very real and people don't believe me when I talk about it. I mean, think about when FaceTime came out, right? That was a huge issue. I think that was probably what brought it to the forefront. When skin of color and people's color was not working for us, right? It couldn't open our phones or see us, and some people I still have chat. I had to do it 10 times. So that's something that's very real, and we have to make sure that those creating, and like we keep bringing this up so that we can make it better and better. But thank you for the question. Michael, did you?
We have a question right here.
Okay.
Hello, my name is James.
James, I can't see you. Thank you.
What do you think that technology and AI can help with economic equality?
Ooh. I'll save mine.
I want to talk about that because I think it starts when we're looking at some of these statistical factors. So when we're looking particularly at the K-12 sector, I don't know if you all talk to your kids and if you have people that you talk to, but we are preparing teachers to be, leaders in AI. However, our kids don't know how to operate it unless we're teaching them at home how to operate it. And so we cannot build for a workforce if we're not starting this educational awareness at an early age. So I will honestly say, let's start teaching our students how to leverage AI and use it in a creative, but also an economic gap, but also the disenfranchised gap when it comes to technological advancements with people in color. We have to start teaching them young. Like we talked last night, there are people in Japan and China that are using it at an early age.
Kindergarten.
And kindergarten, and we are not using it with students until they get to college. We have instructional technologists turning it off on the back and into schools. Well, we can leverage this for students that have disabilities or are not aware of what's going on, and they may need that creative, neurodivergent spiciness to add to their flavor. So it's just like we have to start at, we talk about that school to prison pipeline. We need to have that school to technology pipeline to where we are increasing the visibility and activations within K-12 sector. So not when they're getting to high school, well, not even high school, because I have a senior in high school and we're teaching each other AI at home. It's not being done at school. But we can't wait till our kids get to college and then want to put them out in the workforce and they don't have that experience. Thank God that some colleges are jumping on it, and we're in an economic flavor right now where AI is the pushing and it's the needle, but we have to start with educating first so that we can help with building those workforce developments. That's where the developers come from, that's where the designers come from, that's where students also learn how to build their language models so it also reflects like the designer. And we have to have those not so scary conversations. We have to speak about the inequity in design. And when you have inequity in design, you're gonna have inequity in economic power. And so we have to realize all of this is tied together. And if we don't come together and stop being scared and design together, we are not gonna have that economic power that I know that we can have.
Do you want to hear, was James, do you want to hear my non-traditional Sasha answer?
I think we all want to hear that.
And Mackie's here too, he'll love this. So I think those of you who know me knows that I'm very much about, so the short answer is we need to build better dating to marriage apps for people of color. And the reason why I say that is because 75% of people who get married now are online, but one of the things people know that I'm really passionate about is one of the things to help our community in terms of economic disparity is marriage and partnership, and we have the lowest in our community. And I know I'm at a tech event, and I always say this at tech event, and my friends are laughing at me, but I'm very serious about this. No, I take it very seriously. And so even down to using AI and technology to build apps that might be better for us is something that I think if that's what you need to do to get married, but the partnership, and I think that is how we are going to also close the economic gap as well. So everybody knows I'm all about tech and dating. You'll have to come to one of my tech and dating events. You had a question in the front, Michael. She had a question in the front. She was first.
Okay, because look, we got room for y'all last two questions.
Okay.
And let's make it short.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. So I am a former K-12 teacher as well. I just decided to stop teaching.
Shout out to you.
Anyway, my question is this. I am now operating a digital creation and content creation space on social media, and I have a huge following. However, the next step for me is to create an app to help women in my community, which is Africa, that are going through a lot of domestic violence, sexual harassment, I want to create an app that can help save lives of children who are victims. I have a detailed step-by-step process to create this app. My concern though is that if I share this with someone who was into technology, because I'm not really good with technology, so I am going to need help. How do I protect or copyright my idea without them stealing it, since I'm going to have to lay everything down, to this person or people or company?
Yeah.
How do you protect yourself that your idea is not stolen?
Yeah, so that's another area, right, where we need technologists to go into, which is law, right, especially with AI, especially with the government laws coming up. So I don't know, are there any lawyers in the building? Raise your hand for her to talk patent law or anything like that. Those of you who don't know, secret in this room, keep in this room, I was a women's studies major. And I focused specifically on violence against women, taught classes as a grad student. And so this was my whole life. That's where the MSW comes in before getting in tech 10 years ago. So very much my family has a foundation. I lost the sister to domestic violence. So this is something that is like really, really passionate to me. Verizon at one time was starting some of the technology around it, and that's where you would give your recycled phone, at least so you could at least dial out for 911. App-wise, I haven't been, following what's going on as much with domestic violence and technology, but I'll say I think it's a great idea. And I think one of the things that we're always so scared of in our community is I have an idea, I don't want to tell anybody because it's too late. It's opposite. If you have an app or a business idea, you should be telling everybody in this room. Because if no one, you should be as passionate and as strong in your idea that no one is going to, even if someone takes it, think about it. There's H&M, there's Banana Republic, there's Gap, there's going to be multiple, right? Like multiple clothes stores, going to be multiple people who are passionate like you and I are around domestic violence. And so how to make your product or your app better is actually to be telling everyone about it, right? But I understand wanting to protect yourself. So of course there's like NDAs and there's like patent lawyers, and I don't know if anybody has any more specifics, but we could definitely connect. There's a few patent lawyers that I know in tech that we can connect you with. I went to one of Khadija Robinson's events recently and she had a great lawyer there, so I can connect you with her. But they can help you go step by step. I don't know if anybody in the audience wants to raise their hand. There's a woman right behind you, patent lawyer, who can talk to you about that. Oh, but can connect you, right? So that's why you're in this room. That's why you should actually go around telling everybody in this room what you're doing, and you shouldn't keep it a secret. And that will, I think that's what you do to grow your app. And you need money, you need all these things, so you've got to tell everybody about it. But I also understand wanting to protect yourself, so that is something that happens.
Okay, so we got this last question, and then let's be succinct.
Let's talk after some of us have, you should connect with us.
Hello panel, my name is Jen Baker. I'm the founder and CEO of Visionary Philanthropy Group, Inc. We are a 501c3 nonprofit based in Trenton, New Jersey. My question to you all, great minds, is how can my nonprofit partner with all you great minds so that we can fill the technological divide?
Oh, that's easy.
Just talk to us after. Yeah.
Okay. That's an easy. And shout out to the job application costume for that. So bad. So fire. So fire. And I'll have to take a picture with my enchanted ghost costume.